Hi, ThatPaulGuy. Still working with lighting, still working with location a little bit, change things around a little. Hopefully the lighting's a little better. It's not where I want it. Obviously I know that. We're going to keep on working until we get it right. That's my goal, and eventually maybe by the time we have everything professional looking, I'll figure out how to do this. Still working on the Java programs and tutorials for that. So today I'm actually going to cover doing integers and doing some public strings in the Java app that I created before, because you can print hello world all day long if you want, but until we really start defining some things and start working on some other parts of the application, it really doesn't do us any good. So with that in mind, we're going to move things over here and start working on a couple of variables.
All right, now working with variables. One of the first things we probably need to do is go ahead and choose a variable. In this case, let's go ahead and start with an integer. We're going to keep it static because the main is static. This method or this class right here was something that I'd already previously used in another video. I just cleaned out the insides basically, and we're starting over. So because that's a static, we're going to do a static integer, and we're going to call this one num. We can do one of two things here. We can define it and initialize it, or we can just simply define it. I've chosen to define it because down here we'll initialize it inside our main function. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. And then go ahead and print her out. And you'll remember that the system out print is what we're going to use to make sure it prints down below here. So we've got that, and sure enough, 5. We went ahead and defined it up here, initialized it right here as the number 5. It prints out whatever this is, which in this case is 5. But what if we wanted to do something a little different? Let's say this is 2. And in the way we have this written right now, it's still only going to print out 5 because we changed it to 5 inside of main. But what if we went ahead and saw what it was before and after, basically? Now this should run, and it should tell us 2, and then changing it to 5, and then printing out 5. And we'll see all that down here. There we go. Okay, so integer, pretty easy. Static integer at that because it is a static main. But what if we were going to do a public, and let's do like a public string. And I've actually already saved myself a little bit of typing, and I just did it over on Notepad. I did type it all out, but I just saved myself a little bit of time. And in this case, because we've done it outside and we've done a public underneath the public class, and we've changed this to static, or we have this as static, we have to do a new instance of this public class. So we've done that. We'll do that. And then down here, system out, we have to reference that object that we made because we did just call it object, and we called it new variable or new var. Alright, so basically what we did here is system out, print line, the object that we just made a new object of right here, and the new variable. This just allows us to change whatever we've got the instance of. So there we go. And it's an example of an instance variable, which is what we defined it up here. Now, just to show that that can be changed in other ways, say we wanted to do a method similar to C++ or anything else that you might have already done a method in. Again, I've saved myself a little bit of typing. I've called this new method, and then I have also saved myself a little bit of typing here. I'm going to clean this up a little. There we go. All right, now when it goes to call that method, which is this one right here, it's going to say calling method, so you'll know which order everything goes in. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and print this string, and then we're going to make it run this method after, say, calling method. So whatever happens in here, this should show up afterward, and it's just changing new variable to new variable from inside the method, which you can see works. So there's the example of our instance variable. Then it's going to call that method, and then the new variable from inside the method. Now to prove to you that no harm done, that it only did it as an instance inside that method, we're going to go ahead and take our original, and we're simply going to copy it again. Now we want to make sure that whatever we did inside that method didn't mess with anything we had already had initialized in the class itself. And there you go. As you can see, example of the instance variable. So it ran it the first time and it printed it out. And then it said, it let you know it's going to call the method. Inside the method, it did change, new variable. And then right back outside, just to show that no harm was done, there you go. The example, it's unchanged and it still has the same variable. So I know it's a little bit convoluted, but there's a simple example of how to do a static integer and how to do a public variable, a public string, and hopefully it makes a little bit of sense. I'll keep working, and as I learn more, I'll try to show more. And if there's any suggestions, any thoughts, anything I should do different, or any easier way to do this, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be glad to read all the comments and reply. So that's it for this time. Hope it helps, and see you next time.